Good evening on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 7th of May and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is Planar Compass to Elfland and back. Nothing on the back. Now, Planar Compass is a series of now 3 issues of a fanzine which does something interesting with Old School Essentials. Now, Old School Essentials is the retro clone based upon basic Dungeons and Dragons published by Necrotic Gnome. The BX edition, designed by Tom Mordvay and David Cook, 1980-81. It's the version with the Errol Otis cover on the box. And the Necrotic Gnome version is a really great uplift of it. It's a great redesign and re-implementation and re-presentation of the contents to make it very playable and very accessible, which is one reason why I think it's become such a popular retro clone. What Planar Compass does is take the setting of your Old School Essentials game out into the multiverse. It goes into that same territory as 2 great, one interesting and 1 great setting for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, and 1 supplement for 1st edition, so Manual of the Planes for 1st edition, and then Spelljammer, followed potentially by Planescape for 2nd edition. So, Planar Compass essentially is the name of the company, or something best known to do, but they also put out this. Ridiculously, they also put out this, which is the Planar Compass colouring book based upon the 1st issue of the fanzine, but that's by the by as we go back to Elfland and back. And this, doesn't say what it is on the back. We've got an interesting woodland scene, table of contents, an introduction to Elfland and back is a pen and paper role-playing game for 2 to 6 players. The goal of the game is to retrieve what the Fae have stolen and return it home, and so on. Looks to be fairly short and simple. Essentially what happens if you want to do something. You roll a 6-sided die, failure on a 1, basically a success with negative consequences, success on 2 to 3, 4 to 5 a success, 6 success with fantastic results. So there's essentially what you've got is a no, a yes, but, yes and mechanic there. You've got rules there for advantages, disadvantage. And that's important to note that the rules for disadvantage and advantage essentially more or less introduced by 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, really have percolated through the role-playing hobby in the 10 years or so since. And then here we've got some sort of general background, and then the rules for the players, essentially what they can do, so essentially their occupations and their personalities. And essentially what happens is, if their personality or their job will give them an advantage in a situation, then they have advantage on the dice roll. As simple as that. And then we get on to the referee and what she does, and we've got basically a list of what the Fae took and where they took it. Just a couple of tables, just really kind of set up, and then tables for setting the game up, adding further details and so on. Setting up encounters, what's that Fae, what's that Fae riding, why won't the Fae talk to them, and what weather they might be encountering along the way. Similarly, you've got further locations and Fae food, Fae drink, table of Fae magical items, and the Fey lands, and the demands of the bargaining Fey, and so on. Once they get there, once they locate where the Fey has taken the object that the player characters want to retrieve, and then lastly, once they return, how long were they gone? You know, it might be just minutes, but it might also be centuries. That can be randomly determined. So there's a sense of this being slightly about a fairy tale role-playing game, very simple set of mechanics, a little bit narrative in the outcome with the yes but yes and outcomes. Easy to set up, easy to run. You know, you can literally run this from the tables. You know, and it's up to the game master to sort of like to embellish the locations, and the player characters to really embellish their characters, because it's very basic, and then go on to, you know, embellish sort of like what happens with the results. So that's really kind of simple and straightforward. So that's to Elfland and back by Playing a Compass. Well, if you enjoyed this unboxing of the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box containing a book or game, in this case a mini role-playing game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook, and we'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.